What would it take to make buying Odyssey worth it for me? Now, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not trying to put words in anyone else's mouth. It's also okay to have a completely different opinion than me. So without further ado, here's my thoughts on Odyssey. As of right now, Odyssey does not appeal to me at all. I am not a fan of FPS games. It's not my main type of game, and I do not particularly enjoy that gameplay. However, if a game genre that I like has it, for instance, 7 Days to Die is a survival game and it has FPS mechanics, I will still enjoy the game. But you won't find me playing games like Call of Duty or anything along those lines. So Odyssey, having FPS being the biggest fleshed out system in it, wasn't super exciting for me, essentially. Now, to be fair to Odyssey, I didn't buy Horizons at first either because I was a lot less invested into Elite Dangerous as a whole back then, and Horizons, when it first launched, only had the ability to land on planets, which I didn't see any reason to do that for me. But when Engineering came out, I did end up buying it. So, what would it take for me to buy Odyssey? Well, there are quite a few things that could push me over the edge, so I will probably talk in more general terms and give a couple of examples along those lines, just so that we're not here all day discussing different things that if they added that, I would join. Now, and for the purpose of this video, we're going to be talking about Odyssey in the $30 to $40 price range, because if it drops to $5, I buy it just out of curiosity. Now, my biggest issue with Odyssey is the fact that I like space games. I like flying spaceships. I enjoy every part of their flight model. I mean, even landing can be a fun and challenging experience. I especially love the space combat. Fighting Thargoids or human players or just NPCs sometimes has led to me having some of my best and most enjoyable video game experiences. I'm not much of a miner, but I still enjoy mining just because maneuvering around the asteroid field is a lot of fun. Also, I'm not much of an explorer because sights in video games don't really excite me that much. But going out and finding a high-G planet to land on is a lot of fun, or finding canyons to race through is also a lot of fun. Elite Dangerous, despite all of its other flaws, really delivers on the side of gameplay with their flight model. Now, here lies the problem for me with Odyssey. It doesn't add anything meaningful to the game for me. So I can get out on foot. I don't like FPS, and from what I've seen, it doesn't even look that great. It also doesn't add anything to the parts of the game I like. One thing they added is like low atmosphere worlds and ice world, but as I said before, seeing sights in a video game isn't what gets me excited, so this doesn't add a lot. And the gameplay that they added with exploration is a point and click plant gun to examine stuff, which is just boring and just earns credits. There's no other point to do it, and I already have billions of credits, so I have no reason to do that. I don't care for FPS games that much, but if I was given a reason in game or goals to work towards with the FPS, I would probably enjoy doing it and have fun working along those lines to achieve my goals. This is a problem that I have no reason to even engage in the FPS. It helps me out zero, and it is completely detached from the rest of the game. I remember looking, when Odyssey first came out, I was looking at the game and kind of trying to feel out the grind for the suits and guns, and I was really dreading having to do it because it looked just as bad, if not worse, than grinding for the ship materials. And then it dawned on me, why would I? Why would I go grind for that? It literally adds nothing to the game for me and would be completely pointless to step out of my ship. Actually, how Elite Dangerous Odyssey does it is black out and then appear on the outside of your ship. It was there that I realized that the expansion I've been looking forward to for a couple years on my favorite game offered me nothing. It really adds hardly anything to the game I love, and it was just a glued-on experience. Brings me to what Odyssey would have to do to bring me back. It can't be a separate game glued on to the game I liked. It needs to make the experience I already liked a better one. There needs to be a way that Space Legs enhances my spaceship flying experience. And I don't think adding fleet carrier interiors is the answer, because that's just look around for a couple minutes and say that's cool, but it adds no real meaningful gameplay. I guess you could meet up at fleet carriers, which is alright. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it just doesn't really add anything to the game for me. And this even goes for ship interiors. If ship interiors are just ship interiors and don't add any gameplay, I think it would be a waste of time. I need gameplay to be added that would tie into the gameplay that I already enjoy. And this would be stuff like, you know, when you go to signal sources and there's that busted up ship and then you send out your limpets to collect the engineering mats. Well, if we could EVA out of our ship and go grab engineering mats from exploring that ship, that would be awesome. That would be adding a great experience to flying spaceships and would be something I would enjoy. Or like if they added ship interiors, adding something where you can take over other people's ships, this would add another level to piracy. This would add a reason for me to do FPS, because if I'm taking over somebody's ship, and that would pull the Odyssey experience into the Elite Dangerous experience and kind of tie the games together. And there is a ton of ways that they could do stuff that would add a great experience to the game. For example, the plant gun to examine plants, you could be doing that to get stuff to synthesize materials for like ammo or oxygen, stuff along those lines, so you don't have to use engineering mats. And that could be potentially sellable from fleet carriers or whatever. And that could be a great way to tie in that and make the plant gun thing significantly more important and more useful, and giving me more of a reason to get on foot and explore. But as of right now, it just feels like Odyssey is a glued on experience that doesn't really enhance the main experience that I like at all. So that's number one. The major thing is I need Odyssey to enhance the game I like and not just be a separate experience. Another huge thing is I need to feel like the game has a future. I still think Elite's a better game than Star Citizen, but I play a lot more Star Citizen these days. Why is that? Because I feel like Star Citizen has a future. I feel like in a few years, Star Citizen will be the better game, and I don't even know if Elite Dangerous will be around because there's no roadmap. They aren't talking about adding any future content. They're not talking about any of this. So it leaves me to wonder, is Elite Dangerous dead? If I've already done pretty much everything I want to do in the game, is there any point in me building up more resources, engineering mats, making more engineered ships, just getting better at the game in general? Is there any point if there's nothing else going to be added to the game? I've done everything in the game I wanted to at this point. That's another thing. Elite Dangerous needs to make it feel like there is a future for the game. So these are kind of my two things I think would get me to buy Odyssey personally. Anyway, let me know what would get you to buy Odyssey or be more happy with Odyssey or something like that in the comments down below, and thank you all for watching.